The heartbreaking truth behind the Charles Diana Camilla story. Hello and a very warm welcome to the Sussex Daily News Channel. So how do you all think Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, really felt when she heard the news that Princess Diana of Wales had passed away? Would she have felt sad? I, for one, will be the first to admit that when Diana was really popular, I was really not a fan of Camilla. In fact, I was also probably guilty of blaming her a lot for the breakdown of the Wales' marriage. Even though Charles was a grown man and was just as responsible as Camilla, it's much easier to just blame the other woman. But now I've gotten a lot older. I've gotten married, I've had kids of my own, and afterwards I also got divorced. And I learned that the three people in that marriage, as Diana said, were all responsible for it. Neither should have entered into extramarital affairs, but most people seem to be on Diana's side. She was seen as this meek, innocent character who was done wrong by Charles. And I was as guilty as anyone else of believing this. I just couldn't believe the fact that Charles had chosen this dowdy, middle-aged woman who paid more attention to dogs and horses than her personal appearance. See, Diana was like a real-life fairy tale princess. She was so elegant, she was so classy, and she was incredibly beautiful. She left grown men weak at the knees, all except for the man that really mattered, her husband. There's just no escaping the fact that we all felt like Diana was a princess who was in desperate need of being rescued. My grandmother always said, "Time is the greatest healer." So when I was younger, I just couldn't understand what she meant and how these ill feelings could just disappear over time. But guess what? Now I am the dumpy middle-aged woman who really prefers the company of my cat to a man. And all these years later, Charles and Camilla are still together and still in love. In spite of all the ups and downs, the public backlash, and the ill feelings towards them and their relationship, they have lasted. Even the Queen commented on all the hurdles they've had to overcome as a couple when she made a speech at their wedding. See, their getting married was compared to competing in and winning the Grand National. So in answer to the question, way back when Diana lost her life, I imagined Camilla with some kind of smug, know-it-all look upon her face. That would have suggested that she had at last gotten her man. But today, I see things a bit differently. I believe the reports that she was deeply saddened, and not only for the young princess, but also for Charles, who at one point had loved Diana. Maybe it wasn't the kind of love that Diana wanted, but he did love her. So setting aside the fact that she was well aware that people would blame her for everything, she chose to step back. She allowed Charles plenty of time to mourn the loss of Diana, and also gave him a lot of time to shower those two boys with so much affection, and the time that he needed to feel something other than the numbness that really takes over your being when you experience a loss so great. And now when I see the two of them together, it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. They look so in love and so happy with one another. You can just tell that they have so much respect for each other. They really do make a great partnership. Now, contrary to popular belief, Camilla actually never really wanted to be the Princess of Wales. All that she wanted to be was Charles's wife. So Charles and Camilla clearly adore each other. You can tell the way they're always joking and laughing with one another. And you can't stop loving somebody just because somebody tells you to. They're happy, and you know what? I couldn't be happier for them. Camilla has also shown herself to be quite an asset to the royal family. She and Charles deserve to be happy together, and I am so happy for the both of them. And anyway, Camilla and Charles would have gotten married in their early 20s when they first met, when Diana was still in primary school and not even on the scene, if it wasn't for the Queen Mother Anne Mountbatten, and sadly the fact that Camilla was a commoner. So then she went on to get married to Parker Bowles, and Charles ended up in arranged marriage, and the rest, as we know, is history. So I read something that said that when Camilla learned that Diana had died, the first thing she said was, "Oh, those poor boys." And then she worried about what would happen to her relationship with Charles. It's pretty normal for a woman to think about that if she really loves a man and there's some kind of really difficult obstacle that's presented itself. Now, I've also read that Camilla was the subject of many death threats and paparazzi standing outside of her door, resulting in her hiding in her home and having to have groceries delivered instead of being able to venture out. So today, my thoughts on the whole matter are poor Charles, poor Diana, and poor Camilla. Eventually, Charles and Camilla found their way to each other. They found a way to have a life together. See, both Charles and Diana were pretty emotionally needy, and they were unable to give each other what they really needed. On the other hand, it seems like Camilla is more than strong enough to provide the stable foundation that Charles needs. I'm just sad that Diana never got to experience that for herself. And whenever people try to manipulate their own agendas into other people's lives, life has a real way of returning to center. Now, at the time, the royal family really pretty much told Charles everything to do. They told him exactly what they wanted from him, and they didn't really give any other reason than this is the way things are done. See, my personal opinion is that arranged marriages were always a bad idea. And I say that because people, even members of the royal family, are only human. The more I've read about her, the more I understand that she really needed somebody to help her with her mental health struggles. I mean, was it her marriage to Charles and having to deal with the responsibilities of the royal family, or was it the way that she was raised that caused her to have so many problems? Anyway, she definitely was not old or mature enough or experienced enough to really deal with everything and to understand that not every marriage is going to end with a happily ever after. I do believe she had high hopes, but she quickly realized that everything was not what it seemed. There are some new documentaries that have shed light on Diana, have talked about her inner struggles and using the media to her advantage, which she was very good at. And now I just can look at Camilla and Charles and see how happy they are. Diana had some problems that people didn't know about until after the wedding. I think Charles did the best that he could, but he was unable to make her better, and he just didn't know how to deal with the situation. I do think that he and Camilla reconnected after her husband and Diana had already had affairs. Now, Diana was not this perfect angel that I once believed that she was. In fact, my mother, she didn't like Diana a bit because she saw that Diana had a lot of problems. Anyway, and now I have really come to understand Prince Charles very differently. I've learned more about him, and after seeing how he was affected by Diana's death and how he did offer his boys so much love, I've changed my opinion on him. But I think the thing that has convinced me the most that those two are meant for each other is this lifetime of dedication between them. Camilla really understands Charles. She's not there to outshine him or make him feel old and stodgy. I mean, if you think about it, those two have been in love for a very long time. Unfortunately, Camilla was not the virgin that Diana was, and at the time, that's what they expected Charles to marry. They expected him to get a virgin who, upon giving birth to the heir, there would be no doubt about it. Now, it's sad to think that he was not allowed to be with the woman he really loved, and basically, he had to bear the brunt along with Camilla when their affair was revealed through Diana. So after all these years, I am so excited for Camilla. She has finally proven herself to the Queen, and just now receiving the Order of the Garter. So good for her. Camilla is a true hard-working royal, and she has many patronages now. She has done so well demonstrating her love for not only her husband, but also for the UK and the monarchy. And you, do you think like us? If yes, please like and share my video with your friends and relatives who need it. If not, tell me why and we can discuss that as well. And don't be afraid to subscribe to the Sussex Daily News channel to get more videos from our team. Now thank you so much for watching. Goodbye, and I'll be back to see you tomorrow.